Hello, young masters. Today I teach you about the sacred styles. But before I teach you sacred style, we must define what is sacred. Well, sacred can be defined as that which is connected to God, that which is connected to the divine, to spirit, to the universal consciousness, and in doing so deserves the highest veneration, respect, and devotion. For what we deem to be sacred, we honor with the highest integrity. It is the and of utmost importance to us as a human race. And there are many styles of sacred that we have in our life. Sacred can be applied to anything. But before I get into that, I must say that one could argue that all things are sacred. If you're this spiritual dude, shouldn't you believe that everything's spiritual? Well, yes and no. I think we need to make a difference between that which is sacred and that which is of divine origin. You see, I do believe that everything is of divine origin. Everything came from Creator, came from God. Not everything is in pursuit of the divine. And I think when we use the term sacred, we help identify that which is connecting to higher source, that which is connecting to spirit. So what are the sacred styles? Well, one of my favorites is sacred geometry, as opposed to geometry. Geometry being the study of angles, right angles, diameters, circumference, different shapes, but in opposed to sacred geometry is the study of the geometry of life, the geometry of the universe, the geometry of all organic and inorganic beings. The intelligence that designed this universe implemented a blueprint and designed it off of sacred geometry. Things like Metatron's cube, the flower of life, the icosahedron and dodecahedron and Platonic solids, all of those are different types of sacred geometries. And then there's sacred mathematics. Sacred mathematics is the mathematics of life and consciousness. There is hidden mathematical codes in nature. For example, the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 plus 2 equals 5, 5 plus 3 equals 8, and 8 plus 5 equals 13, and so forth. And you just take the sum and add the last number that you added to it. They discovered that that mathematical sequence creates a certain Fibonacci pattern, which they call the spiral, or the Fibonacci spiral, and we find this pattern, this geometry, this sacred geometry in all of life. For example, the design of my human body and your human body is all based off the Fibonacci sequence. The pattern of the core of your body with your arm, forearm, hand, fingers is the same design as this very tree. Its main body, its branches are its arms, its twigs are its fingers. And so we could see this pattern in all of nature. Sacred mathematics, also we find it in the way a human is born. Cell division. When a sperm comes into an egg, it takes 64 cell divisions to create the first human organ, which is the heart. And this 64 divisions is also found in the I Ching of the ancient Chinese Taoists when they were mapping out their view of life in reality. 64 is also found in our DNA. There are 64 different codons in our DNA. So it's all very interesting how these things connect. Then there's sacred sexuality. Sacred sexuality is not your normal sexuality that is just based off your lower primal lustful desires, but it is a higher perspective, a more expanded perspective on sexuality. It utilizes the sexual energy for spiritual advancement, for enlightenment, for harnessing and channeling energy for good purposes. Our sexual energy is a very sacred energy, and it is not to be wasted. It is not to be used in a disrespectful way. Our sexual energy is the most powerful energy there is, and how can it not be sacred? Sacred sexuality is very important. Look that up. And one style that I feel most passionate about sharing with you right now is sacred dance and sacred movement. Sacred dance is when you combine spiritual awareness with bodily expression. And the dancer does not become a dance just for entertainment or just for simple expression. The dance then becomes a form of prayer, a form of ceremony, a form of healing. The dance becomes a channeler for divine energy, for cosmic energy. And the sacred style of dance is not just limited to one dance style. Sacred style of dance can be applied to any dance style. Sacred hip-hop, sacred ballet, sacred jazz. For me, my style I consider sacred pop because I started in the popping style. When I discovered and learned about all this cosmic knowledge and ancient wisdom, I then applied it to my own dance style, and it has allowed me to truly tap into a much deeper force. And the beautiful thing is that sacred style can be helpful to anyone. You do not have to be a particular spiritual belief or a particular religious belief in order to obtain it. It is available to everyone, no matter what. Even if you're atheist, you can still tap into the sacred style of dance. It doesn't matter what you believe. It is how strongly you believe in a greater force. It determines on how much you can allow yourself to let go, to get out of your mind, to enter your heart and allow that force to move through you. And I believe that this can help many people. I feel like there are others like I who search for a deeper meaning in their passion, in their art. I feel like there are others who are searching for that cosmic force, that sacred energy. And if you are a dancer and you're looking for that, I believe the sacred style is for you. And let's say you are already on the spiritual path, yet you're not a dancer. I believe this can help you obtain better mastery over your body, mind, and soul connection. And I feel very passionate and excited to start sharing these teachings with you all, because it's something that I've been cultivating in myself for the past couple of years. And it is my own style that I developed, but started to discover that it is an ancient form of movement. And I am not the creator of it. I am simply a practitioner of it and someone who wants to share it. And I think a lot of people will really resonate with it. So the sacred dancer is not always easily identified. A sacred dancer does not differentiate in skill or technique. But what makes a sacred dancer is purely intent and vibration. And you can tell a sacred dancer not by the way they look or how they dance, but how they make you feel. When someone is truly and genuinely tuned in to that vibration, you cannot help but feel that energy. Also, I must say that I am not the only sacred dancer there is. There are many others. In fact, there is a movement happening right now as we speak. Sacred dancers are popping up all over the world, and we must find them. But I actually have found a few. I am part of a dance crew called the Sacred G's, and we are dancers who share in this philosophy. We are helping bridge the hip-hop world with the spiritual world and help create a connection so that we can be more empowered people. And we will be performing at upcoming events such as Gem and Jam 2015, Sedona Yoga Festival coming up in February. And if you'd like more information, you can follow us on Facebook and YouTube and other social media accounts, and I'll put the link in the description below. So, do you think you are ready to learn the sacred style? If so, contact me via website adrianlobo.net. And if you guys are interested in knowing when and where I'll be teaching next, you can sign up with my newsletter It is in the description below, and I'll be sending weekly and or monthly updates as to when and where I'll be teaching and what I'll be offering in terms of classes, workshops, etc., etc. And I'm currently offering one-on-one private dance and movement mastery lessons. So if you're interested in that, you can hit me up via message or website, and I will be offering that in person and via Skype. So if you're not in Phoenix and you still want to connect with me and learn from my methods, you can reach me via Skype and we can work together in that way.
So, I have shared with you the sacred style. Now, you must go and train and master yourself, better yourself every day. May you go forth from this day more masterful, more expanded, more aware, more sacred. Continue on, young Jedi. Peace and many blessings.